Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we'll be taking a closer look at some fascinating and potentially valuable 1-cent coins. These coins are admired by collectors for their history, unique designs, rarity, and possible value. If you have old coins in your collection, make sure to watch until the end because you might own a coin that is worth more than you think. Let's get started and explore the amazing stories and detail behind. The 1994 Canada 1-cent coin, commonly known as a Canadian penny, is one of the most recognizable coins issued by Canada during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The obverse of the coin features a right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Dora de Petithunt. Around the portrait appears the inscription Elizabeth II D times G times Regina. The abbreviation DG Regina comes from a Latin phrase Dei Gratia Regina, meaning Queen by the grace of God. This inscription has appeared on Canadian coins for many decades and reflects Canada's constitutional monarchy traditions. The portrait used on the 1994 penny was introduced in 1990 and remained in use until the early 2000s, making the 1994 issue part of an important period in modern Canadian coinage. The reverse side of the 1994 Canadian cent displays the famous maple leaf twig design created by G.E. Kruger Gray. Two maple leaves attached to a small branch are shown in the center, symbolizing Canada's national identity and natural heritage. Above the design appears the word Canada, while the denomination 1 cent is displayed below. The year 1994 is positioned beneath the maple leaves. The maple leaf has long been one of Canada's most important national symbols, representing strength, unity, and the country's vast forests. Because of this iconic design, generations of Canadians immediately recognize the penny as a symbol of everyday commerce and national pride. The 1994 Canadian penny was struck by the Royal Canadian Mint. During this period, pennies were produced primarily from bronze, containing approximately 98% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. The coin weighs about 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. Its reddish-brown appearance comes from the high copper content, although circulation often causes coins to darken over time. Many collectors appreciate older Canadian cents because they contain significantly more copper than later issues, giving them a distinctive color and feel compared to modern plated coins. Production numbers for the 1994 Canadian penny were extremely high, with hundreds of millions of pieces minted to satisfy circulation needs across Canada. Because of this large mintage, most examples remain relatively common today. Circulated pieces are usually worth only a small premium above face value, while uncirculated examples with strong red luster can command higher prices among collectors. Coins certified in very high mint state grade by professional grading services may be worth considerably more because truly pristine examples become increasingly difficult to find as time passes. From a collector's perspective, the 1994 penny represents an important era just before significant changes in Canadian small cent production. Throughout the 1990s, Canadian pennies remained an essential part of everyday transactions, used by millions of people for purchases, savings jars, and coin collections. Children often learned about money using pennies, and many collectors began their hobby by searching through rolls of cents looking for interesting dates and varieties. The 1994 issue is therefore connected not only to numismatic history, but also to the daily lives of Canadians during the decade. One reason collectors continue to save Canadian pennies is that the denomination itself has become part of history. In 2012, Canada officially ended penny production and gradually removed the coin from circulation. As a result, older pennies such as a 1994 issue now serve as reminders of a bygone era when 1-cent coins played an important role in the economy. Many people kept pennies as souvenirs, creating renewed interest in earlier dates and varieties. Although the 1994 penny is not generally considered rare, it remains a meaningful collectible because it represents the final decades of Canada's traditional 1-cent coinage. Collectors examining a 1994 Canadian cent should pay close attention to the coin's condition. Bright red examples with little or no wear are usually the most desirable. Coins displaying full original mint luster, sharp details in the Queen's portrait, and clean maple leaves on the reverse are especially sought after. Some collectors also search for striking errors, dye varieties, or unusual minting characteristics, which can make otherwise common coins more valuable. While major varieties for the 1994 issue are uncommon, any unusual error can attract significant interest from specialists. Today, the 1994 Canada 1-cent coin remains a popular addition to Canadian coin collections worldwide. It combines the enduring portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the iconic maple leaf design, and the rich copper appearance that many collectors admire. Whether found in an old coin jar, inherited collection, or purchased from a dealer, the 1994 Canadian penny represents a fascinating piece of Canadian history and a lasting symbol of a denomination that served Canadians for more than a century. The 1978 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent is one of the most widely collected modern United States coins. Issued by the United States and struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries a historic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on its obverse. The coin bears the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above Lincoln's portrait, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1978 to the right, accompanied by the small D mint mark indicating production at the Denver Mint. Lincoln's appearance on the cent began in 1909, making it the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical person rather than a symbolic representation. By 1978, Lincoln had appeared on the cent for nearly 70 years, making the design one of the most familiar images in American numismatic history. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln seen on the 1978 D cent was designed by renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner. Brenner's design was originally introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The portrait is admired for its realistic appearance and dignified presentation. Lincoln's legacy as the president who guided the nation through the Civil War and preserved the Union made him a natural choice for the nation's lowest denomination coin. Millions of Americans handled Lincoln cents daily, making the coin a constant reminder of one of the country's most respected leaders. The reverse of the 1978 D cent features the famous Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparro. Introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the design depicts the Lincoln Memorial in remarkable detail. Above the memorial appears the inscription "United States of America," while "E Pluribus Unum" is displayed across the top edge of the coin. The denomination 1 cent appears prominently below the memorial. An interesting feature of this design is that Lincoln's statue can actually be seen between the columns of the memorial, making it one of the few coins in the world to depict the same individual on both sides. The 1978 D cent was struck at the United States Mint facility in Denver. During this period, Lincoln cents were composed primarily of copper, containing 95% copper and 5% zinc. The coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. Its bronze composition gives it the rich reddish-brown color that collectors often admire. Coins preserved in their original red state are generally more desirable than those that have toned to brown due to age and circulation. The year 1978 was a significant time in American history. The United States was experiencing economic challenges, including inflation and energy concerns, while also continuing technological and industrial development. Lincoln cents circulated heavily in commerce, appearing in cash transactions, vending machines, banks, and retail stores across the country. The 1978 D cent became part of daily American life and passed through countless hands as people conducted routine purchases and business transactions. The mintage of the 1978 D Lincoln cent exceeded 5.5 billion pieces, making it one of the most heavily produced pennies in United States history. Because of this enormous production, the coin remains very common today. Most circulated examples are worth only a small premium over face value. However, collectors seek high-grade uncirculated specimens that retain full mint luster, strong strike quality, and attractive surfaces. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels can command significantly higher prices due to their rarity and exceptional condition. Many collectors search 1978 D cents for interesting mint errors and varieties. Although major varieties are not common, examples with off-center strikes, double dies, clip planches, die cracks, or other minting anomalies can attract considerable interest. Error collectors often examine large numbers of cents in hopes of finding unusual pieces that escape the mint's quality control process. Such discoveries can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly desirable collectible. The Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which includes the 1978 D issue, remains one of the most popular coin series in the United States. Its affordability and availability make it accessible to beginning collectors, while the possibility of locating rare varieties keeps experienced numismatists interested. Many coin enthusiasts began their collecting journey by searching through jars of Lincoln cents, filling coin albums, and learning American history through the coins they found. Today, the 1978 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent continues to hold a special place in American numismatics. While it is not considered rare in circulated condition, it represents an important chapter in the long-running Lincoln Cent series. Its connection to Abraham Lincoln, its classic Lincoln Memorial reverse design, and its role in everyday American commerce make it a fascinating piece of history. Whether discovered in pocket change, inherited in a collection, or preserved in mint condition, the 1978 D penny remains a lasting symbol of American coinage and one of the most recognizable coins ever produced by the United States Mint. The 1979 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin is a classic piece of American coinage that circulated throughout the United States during the late 1970s. Issued by the United States Mint, this coin features a beloved image of Abraham Lincoln and continues one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. On the obverse side appears a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1979 to the right. The Lincoln cent is significant because it was the first regular United States coin to feature an actual historical figure rather than a symbolic representation. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, the design had already become a familiar sight in American pockets by the time the 1979 issue was released. The portrait of Lincoln was created by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner. His design captures Lincoln with a dignified and thoughtful appearance, reflecting the respect Americans have long held for the president who preserved the Union during the Civil War and helped bring an end to slavery in the United States. Brenner's portrait is considered one of the most successful coin designs ever produced by the United States Mint. Even decades after its introduction, the image remained essentially unchanged, demonstrating its enduring popularity and historical importance. The reverse side of the 1979 cent features the famous Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparro. Introduced in 1959, this design replaced the earlier Wheat Ears reverse and honored the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The reverse displays a magnificent Lincoln Memorial, one of the most recognized monuments in the United States. Above the memorial appears the national motto, E Pluribus Unum, meaning out of many, one. The inscription United States of America is placed around the upper portion of the coin, while 1 cent appears prominently below the memorial. An interesting detail often appreciated by collectors is that Lincoln's seated statue can actually be seen between the columns of the memorial, making Lincoln appear on both sides of the coin. The 1979 Lincoln cent was struck primarily from an alloy consisting of 95% copper and 5% zinc. The coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Because of its high copper content, the coin displays a distinctive reddish appearance when new. Over time, exposure to air and handling can cause the color to darken to brown. Collectors generally classify Lincoln cents according to color designations such as red road, red-brown RB, and brown BN, with bright red examples typically commanding the highest premiums. The year 1979 was an interesting period in American history. The nation was dealing with inflation, energy concerns, and significant political developments. Despite these challenges, everyday commerce continued to depend heavily on small denomination coins such as the Lincoln cent. Millions of 1979 pennies passed through stores, restaurants, banks, and vending machines across the country. For many Americans, the penny was an essential part of daily transactions and represented one of the most commonly handled pieces of currency in circulation. Large numbers of 1979 Lincoln cents were produced at various United States Mint facilities. Coins without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia, while coins bearing a D mint mark were produced in Denver. Additionally, proof versions were manufactured at San Francisco for collectors. Because of the enormous production figures, the 1979 cent remains common today, and circulated examples are generally worth only a small premium above face value. However, exceptional uncirculated pieces with strong strikes, full mint luster, and minimal marks can be considerably more valuable. Collectors often examine 1979 cents for unusual varieties and mint errors. Off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, clip planches, and other minting anomalies occasionally appear and can command strong premiums in the collector market. Although major rare varieties are not commonly associated with a 1979 cent, dedicated collectors continue searching rolls and collections in hopes of discovering unusual examples. Such finds add excitement to the hobby and demonstrate how even common coins can become valuable under the right circumstances. The Lincoln Memorial Cent series remains one of the most collected coin series in the United States. Its affordability allows beginners to assemble collections easily, while advanced collectors pursue high-grade certified examples and rare varieties. The 1979 issue is often included in Lincoln Cent albums and serves as a representative example of late 20th century American coinage. Many collectors have fond memories of finding these coins in circulation, making them a nostalgic reminder of an earlier era. Today, the 1979 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin continues to be appreciated by collectors around the world. While it is not considered rare in ordinary condition, it carries tremendous historical significance through its connection to Abraham Lincoln and its role in everyday American life. The coin represents a period when copper cents still circulated widely and when the Lincoln Memorial reverse was a familiar symbol recognized by millions. Whether discovered in pocket change, inherited from a family collection,